starting.
We were like, okay, this is not.
So this is Coach client, Lakeshia, and she's so cute. She's been with us for now like 3 months or so, I think. Time flies when you're having fun. And we're just gonna have a little chill conversation about her time here at Purpose Athletics, and yeah, so let's get started.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess our first question should be kind of like your background of where you started before you like were working with us. Like, what was that? What did that look like?
Oh God, literally all over the place from one end of the spectrum to the other. I don't remember if I mentioned this during my consultation with Coach Abby or not, but so this all started. Well, I started maybe like back during my sophomore year in high school when I took nutrition is when I kind of like first got like my first little glimpse of like what nutrition really was and like the purpose of food and all that kind of stuff. But you know, my little young sophomore year brain just took it to the extreme and I just became like really obsessed with it. That like led me into like an eating disorder and that I struggled with for 10 years. Be super restrictive, barely eating. I mean, I was probably this big in 10th grade, like I'm not gonna lie. So I had no business thinking that I needed to like lose weight. But that was my first experience with nutrition, just because like I just wasn't educated, you know, I just didn't really know any better. And then like from there developed a super unhealthy relationship with working out. Worked out multiple hours a day. My family had a treadmill. That's where I started in high school, running on the treadmill probably for 2 hours a day. Like again, I'm this big, probably the size of a green bean. And so then that continued through high school. Then all through like college, I would literally go to the gym and spend 2 hours in the gym. Again, not eating. So that this was a cycle for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until like my junior year in college when I was taking a women's health class and we went to this gym and they had like a nutrition department, and then like we met with the lady. She did her like her presentation and kind of like just talking about, you know, like her job, and it really piqued my interest because at this point I was exhausted. Having an eating disorder is exhausting. Hungry all the time, you're thinking about food all the time, it consumes your life. And so I was just done at that point. And so I ended up going back to get a card from her, called her, made an appointment, went to go see her, and then that's kind of really where I learned how to feed my body, because like before that I did not know how to feed my body. I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know any of that stuff. So she really like helped me to like come out of that. Mm-hmm. And like from that, I did pretty well with that for a while, but then all of these fat diets started coming out and I started to compare myself to other people. And then, you know, it was just this constant cycle. And then like I would sustain for a while, maybe like a year or two, and then I would fall off just because I was just exhausted. Everything was just so exhausting to me, you know. And then like, and if you look at the things that are out there, like they're all saying you can't eat this, you can't do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. And for me, like restriction just doesn't work. I mean, it just doesn't, just because of like my history and my background. And I even went vegan once. Like I went vegan for like over a year, and honestly, I loved it. But then like after about a year or so, I started like craving like chicken, and again, like to me, I felt restricted, and I couldn't do it anymore, because again, it just took me back to like my eating disorder mindset, because it's really like a mind thing, you know. And so then from there, I just kind of I don't know, I just tried to figure it out on my own, which obviously it didn't work. My relationship with working out did get better. However, I still feel like I was working out like too much, but I didn't realize that until like now, when Coach Cassie changed my workouts from 5 days a week to 4 days a week. So Yeah, so it's kind of just been like this up and down cycle of like back and forth, back and forth. And now, like, since I've been with you guys, I'm telling you, this is the most free and most peaceful I've ever been when it comes to like food and, working out and things like that. So
Wow. I love all the details. That is amazing. And thank you for sharing that with us. Seriously. That literally makes me even more like excited and thankful and like all of the things that you're here
yeah.
because you found the right spot. You're going to have these like tools for the rest of your life. So that, yeah, that just makes me so happy. And I'm glad that we are able to like bring that to you.
Yes, so excited.
Yeah, so talk a little bit more about like, your journey now. Like what are you doing right now that is like, adding to your life and kind of like speak to that. Like I know you just went on your honeymoon and like kind of talk about that fun stuff and just like living that like unrestricted lifestyle you've been searching for so long.
Oh my gosh. Like, there are days where I feel like this is not real. Like, I'm like, is this real? Like, I get to eat all of this food, and when I started with you guys, when I started with Coach Cassie, like, I was just waiting for the moment. Because, like, this is too good to be true. So I'm like reading through like my first email. I'm watching the video. I'm just waiting for it to come about like a meal plan and having to do HIIT workouts and cardio, which I feel like are the worst things on the planet. And so I never heard that, never read it, never heard. She's never told me anything about you can't do this, you can't do that. You should scale back on this. You should scale. It just hasn't occurred. And so I love it. I say this all the time, but I truly do love it here because I've never been so free in food and nutrition. And like, I feel like now, I think it was a few weeks ago in my check-in, I said that I feel like things are starting to click for me now. I'm feeling like I'm starting to find like balance because me, probably 6 months ago, going on a honeymoon, I wouldn't have been able to enjoy myself because I just would have been like just so focused on like other things, like feeling like I need to force myself to work out, feeling like I need to force myself to eat a salad even though I don't want it. Like I'm in the Maldives, I want to eat Maldivian food. So but I'm so grateful that I started this program when I did. I even told my therapist this in my last session that I feel like I started this program at the most perfect timing because it set me up and gave me the education and the tools that I needed to help navigate through my honeymoon, through adjusting being married, because people gain weight when they get married. That's not me. I'm not, because, and it's really truly because I've gained all of these skills and these tools from both of you guys, like since working with you, and then like adjusting from like careers, so I feel like all of this stuff is like just clicking for me. It's coming together. Like I said, I could not have started at the most perfect time. And yeah, life is great. I just celebrated my birthday. I had a balanced weekend. I wasn't concerned about anything, like I knew I prioritized like my water, I prioritized my protein. I'm making sure, like I'm mindful of the things that I'm choosing to eat, but I'm also having fun. Like my sister and her husband were in town, like we were going out and like we would order food, like, and I'm like, oh no, I can't eat that. Oh no, I can't have that. Oh no, I think I can't have that drink. It never occurred. It never happened. And it's because of working with both of you.
I love it. I think my favorite thing about this transformation is like the mindset, the relationship with food and all of that like has just leveled up your life so much. And I'm so thankful for that.
Yes, my quality of life has just gone through the roof.
Yay. Ultimately, like that's what we want for all of our, clients and people. Like if they're out there like right now, like thinking about, should I like do coaching, whatever, like we want this to like add to your life tremendously and improve your quality of life and improve your balance and be able to show up for your friends, family, yourself. Like
Yep.
you're just like a true testament to that, which makes me so excited. So I guess like if someone's kind of on the fence about coaching, like what would you tell them, to do if they're like nervous about starting a fitness journey or like starting a program like this?
I would say do it. I would say do it because it's one thing to read information, but it's another thing to apply it. Like the things that you guys like teach us and like you talk with us about, these are things that I've read, but my issue is I didn't know how to apply it. I didn't know what I was doing, obviously, because it wasn't working, and so I just jumped. I took the leap of faith. I made the choice to make the investment, and it's worth it because I feel like you're either going to pay for it on this side or you're going to pay for it on the other side. And I'd rather pay for it on this side because I'm trying to live like a long, strong, healthy life. I want to be around for God knows however long. I want to be healthy. I want to have energy, and I want to be strong. And I feel like joining you guys and, getting a coach has definitely just taken it to another level. I'm talking about like top notch. I would recommend it because I could not imagine doing this without a coach. It's 1,000% worth it.
I love that so much. Oh my God.
Thank you so much for getting on the live and just pouring your heart out. I hope that somebody watching this and people who come to our page and see this are like, okay, I'm ready now.
Yes, you should. If you are on the fence, y'all, I promise, do it. And when I'm talking about like purpose athletics with other people, like if I talk about it too long, like I'll cry, and I'm not over I'm not over exaggerating, and it's really just because I know like my history and like the up and down, and it hasn't been any of that. It's been wonderful. I am not gonna cry, but it's just been life changing, and I'm so mad at myself because why am I crying? Like,
it's vulnerable. I'm crying.
Like I did not plan to cry at all. I hate crying, but seriously, I cannot put into words like how much this has changed me on the inside, and I feel like the change has to start here. Yeah. And that's something that I really love about working with Coach Cass is because we focus so much on the mindset. It's all about mindset. And of course, like I'm seeing like physical changes as well. I am so much stronger in the gym. I'm lifting heavier. I love the barbell. It's my best friend. Prior to this, I would not have ever walked over to the barbell trying to squat way more than 50 pounds, but I'm like way past that now at this point. So like it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I'm so grateful that I came across your ad that day randomly. I told you I lost you and I couldn't find you for a couple of days. Then I found you again. I'm so glad that I just did it. I didn't know anything about like the cost, the process, anything. I didn't care because my mind was made up. I knew that I wanted to do it. I had done some research. I had stalked your Instagram page, and I was like, I have to do it. And I'm so glad I did it. I don't regret it, not one bit.
Well, we're so grateful to have you here. And honestly, I'm like, gosh, I need to hire you for sales in my company. Probably close more clients than me. But seriously, that story was so empowering. And I mean, Coach Cassie, do you have anything else you want to ask her or say anything?
No, I don't think so. I think that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course.
Yes. Well, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully someone's impacted by this story. And, we want more clients to be on here in the future. So stay tuned.
Oh, yeah. See you
guys. Have a good one.